all. You are up front with Frank Rothstein on Skies Crescent Radio at skiescrescentradio.com. Wondering how everyone's Thanksgiving was, but before you tell me, just remember we are also live on Facebook. You can find us at the Upfront with Frank Rothstein's page, or I put an apostrophe on my name. Facebook.com, Upfront with Frank Rothstein, or of course, Upfront, Facebook.com/Skies Crescent Radio, SKYES. See that? I am babbling already. It's going to be a fun show. Sitting with me as always, and today she's wearing her sweatshirt, telling us she's from Baruch College. Excuse me. And of course, did you make that hat? One of her handmade hats is the very talented Jade Zabrick. You can hear all about Jade and the Train Walkers. Go to trainwalkers.com and see what they're doing, what the ins and outs of the Train Walkers are doing. See what station they're playing at, where they're walking near you. So how was all your Thanksgivings? Everybody do a good job? Everybody clean up all their plates? Eat all the leftovers? Turkey soup, turkey sandwiches, turkey salad, turkey puree, turkey pot pie. I mean, how far? It depends on how much you make, of course. But did you all do a good job? I know I did. I know I went to my aunt's house. We had like 2 entrees, like 32 carbs. It was a vegetable meat, but we had like 32 carbs. And I ate like a horse, which I shouldn't have. But then again, what the hell? I'm going to do it at some point in time. I'm trying to be good. Trying. But at some point I am going to eat, so I couldn't feel too bad about it. And since I was already in my own personal nutritional dieting hell, once I started eating, because it was so good, that even when dessert came, I didn't have any of the cake, but she did have Oreos. And since I have not had Oreos in 10 years, I could not help but have 6. It's a damn shame what they're doing to the Oreos. Yes, I know there's plenty of important things going on in the world, but not to me. It's a damn shame what's going on with the Oreos. Reducing the amount of filling inside of it. I mean, what am I supposed to do with my teeth? What am I going to scrape? There's nothing there. I don't mean Oreo thins. I mean Oreos. They give you less. Now, if you want what was a real Oreo, you got to buy double stuffed Oreos. And if you want a double stuffed Oreo, you now have to buy a mega stuffed Oreo. And this is very depressing. Then we also had, I didn't have them. They had devil dogs. I don't know, man. My aunt gets a lot of stuff, like for all the kids, even though there are no kids, but still, devil dogs. I mean, I took a look at that. I've said this before. Even the cream filling in the devil dog has been cut in half. There's hardly anything there. No wonder kids are so screwed up. Even Twinkies got smaller and they have less filling. It's a Twinkie. This is really sad. Now, I was looking at some of the flavors of Oreos on their Facebook page. Candy corn, wasabi. It's wrong. There are 2 perfect things in the universe: the sun and the Oreo. But being the humans that we are, we're trying to screw up the Oreo, and they'll do it just by reinventing the wheel. They'll screw it up. My poor Oreo. I'm so sad. What is going on in the world that we can actually work on and maybe improve on? Oh, yes, we have a new variant. Wasn't good enough we had Delta, because that's like the name of half the military movies from like 1960s and 70s. The Delta this, Delta Squad, Delta, everything's Delta. Well, the Delta, that's not good enough. Now we have the Omicron. Kodachrome, Omicron, Kodachrome's a Paul Simon song. Sorry. The Omicron variant. The world, let me see if I got like 4 headlines sitting here at one time. Okay, the World Health Organization warns that the Omicron variant poses very high risk of infection worldwide. On the next story, it says, wait, let me get to it, because I pull up all my stories, use my Facebook page as like a filing cabinet. 2 cases reported in Canada, which means, it's on top of us. Okay, COVID, here's another one. Lots of stories. This is a good one. Let's see. Vaccine efficacy for Omicron has likely dropped. That's according to Moderna. How is efficacy, the effectiveness of the vaccine for Omicron? Well, yes, it's a different type of a virus. And of course, President Biden says don't panic over it because we should be concerned, but not panic. I understand that. Excuse me. That's right. We should not panic. I mean, I was always thinking of, when I was a little kid, if you weren't feeling well, my grandparents always knew that I had the virus. How many different viruses there are out there? But my grandparents knew it, the virus. So since there were so many, but they always knew which one, I'm not too concerned if there are so many COVIDs and I only got one. But I've already had mine. That was 2 years ago, or coming up on 2 years. And don't panic, because before you know it, they'll be dropping a pill your way or another shot your way. And let's see, what is the vaccine makers? Let's look at this. This is what's more important, the stock market. Let's see. Pfizer went up 1.02%. Moderna, 10.28%. That's a biggie. Johnson & Johnson dropped 0.11. AstraZeneca dropped over a point and a half. This is pretty good. Make sure you know what's going to work based on your stock portfolio. So, yeah, we all have all new stuff to worry about. Everyone be careful, wear your masks. Ask your doctor which vaccine you're going for, because, well, always get vaccinated. At least I think so anyway. What the hell, good shot, never hurts anybody. I don't think. But I'm not sure if it'll help as much, since this is like a whole wine list of virus to get through. But okay, we'll see what happens. Yeah, what's it called? Symptoms are unusual but mild. I don't know what that means. I can't tell either way. I have no idea. I still get my 2-a-day sneezing fits every day of the year, so it makes no difference what I catch. I'm just going to be sneezing every time I eat. That's just how it goes with COVID. You never really know. But as far as the winter, yeah, we got a couple of snowflakes today. And I love this weather. Why I say it doesn't matter to me what happens. My apartment gets dry heat. And of course, I've been going outside in the winter. It's getting wintry out there. We get some snow, a little rain, get the nice damp bite to the cold. That's when my sinuses bang, 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 bang. And I'm sitting here either sneezing or just sitting there. So I'm used to everything. I am used to everything, which is why I always bring iced tea to my show. A little water to my show. And if you cannot see me, I got 7 flashlights behind me, just so everybody knows. Jade's trying to hold back the laughing because I'm looking at her and she's looking at me. And yes, Jade, I've got flashlights. If you'd like some, I'll send you a couple. Yes, don't be afraid to ask. Okay, what else is going on in the world? Let's see if we can really get into something here. So we know that the gubernatorial races, everyone's announcing their candidacy. Jumaane Williams, who has announced that he's running for the governor's seat, who is supporting defund the New York City Police Department. It's okay, support whatever you want. That's great. Do what you got to do. So yeah, he supports defunding. Anyway, he says Gotham's far left public advocate Jumaane Williams, who's running to become the state's next governor, has pushed to slash the funding of the NYPD and Department of Defense. That's pretty big. Yet he traverses the city with an NYPD security detail, and he lives on a military base, on a U.S. military base, where he enjoys free around-the-clock security. Turns out, I love this. It's when you know what people are really made of. I love it. He wants to defund the police, take away their income, take away people's jobs. I don't know what he really wants to do with himself, but he lives at Fort Hamilton. If you're not familiar with Brooklyn or the New York area, Fort Hamilton is located in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. And if you're driving towards Manhattan, it is just before the Verrazano Bridge. It's on 100 and what is it, 104th Street, 104th Street and Fort Hamilton Parkway. It's right there, right there. 2 more feet off the base and you're into the river. And yeah, that's where he lives. Said it was because of housing. Gets a nice house for $4,000 a month, which you can get that anywhere. Get that a lot of places. He has a nice little place, nice little spot, but he lives on a military base and wants to, what is it? Yeah, what I say here, yeah, he wants to slash funding to the NYPD and Department of Defense. Well, if he gets his way with Department of Defense, I hope Fort Hamilton's the first to go, at least until he has to move out. Then he can restock the place with personnel. That is the biggest crock of bullshit I can imagine. It's hard to imagine a candidate with a platform like that living on a military base, getting free security and a free ride by the NYPD every day to work. This is what this guy is doing. So let's say he resides just off of General Lee Avenue. That's named after the Confederate military leader turned target of the cancel culture warriors on the Fort Hamilton U.S. Army garrison in Brooklyn. Okay, that's what it is. There you go. So unless this guy moves his family, he wants to pay $4,000 a month rent, okay, fine. Do it anywhere. Until he moves out of Fort Hamilton, I cannot take him seriously. I could certainly never vote for this guy because his basic premise is a lie. It is a lie. You don't slash the funding to the people protecting you unless you're prepared to leave. Matter of fact, had he said, we moved out because what's going on is wrong and I want to slash, I do not want the military's protection. I will not live there and I will work towards slashing the funding. I could sooner respect that. At least he put something on it. At least he's standing by his beliefs. But no, let's slash the funding, but protect me and my family. So I don't like this. I don't know who I'm voting for, but not this guy. And if any of you have a thought on anything I'm saying, I am at upfrontfrank@gmail.com, upfrontfrank@gmail.com. And of course, you can always find me on my Upfront Facebook page, leave a comment, or go to the Skies Crescent radio page and find my show there. Right now, I'm top billing. Go leave a comment there. We will look at it. We will read it. I am looking more at my page, but if Jade sees a comment, she'll read it out aloud. We'll talk about it. And that is what I have to say about that story. That's just what I think. I'm sorry if it offends anyone, but actually, I'm not sorry. I just don't like fake. I really don't. Jade, do you have any thought on that? You're ex-military. You have any thought on this guy? Doing that? Okay. What else is going on here? Let's see. Let's see. Well, we're going to float around a little bit. Let me see something. A tech firm, if you're in England, a tech firm, this is pretty interesting. If you're looking to make some money, it says, would you apply? A tech firm will pay a brave volunteer £150,000 or about $200,000 to use their face on its robots, which will work in hotels, shopping malls, and airports by 2023. So if you want to be a face of the robot, that's the job offer. Where is this thing here? Yeah, this is a pretty interesting thing. I'm looking at a picture of a guy whose face is on the cover of a robot. They're pretty close. Not perfect, but pretty close. This is the manufacturer Promobot is seeking a face for its next humanoid robot, which will be used in hotels, again, shopping malls and airports. The firm is offering, as I said, $200,000 US to a brave volunteer, which, okay, the first paragraph is always the headline. It says Promobot is a New York-based robot manufacturer known for its eerily realistic humanoid robots. Its robots are already being used in 43 countries, working across a range of roles, including administrators, promoters, consultants, guides, and the concierges. Okay. Our company is developing technologies in the field of facial recognition, as well as speech, autonomous navigation, artificial intelligence, and other areas of robotics. I think it's pretty interesting. I actually saw this. Most everything you see now comes from an old sci-fi somewhere, sci-fi. There was an episode of The Twilight Zone. That's what it was, a Twilight Zone. And I believe the main character of this story was a late actor named Jack Warden, who's a prisoner. He's sentenced to serve time on a planet. I forgot which planet they put him on. And he was there alone. So for company, they gave him a robot, a female robot, who was, of course, I don't even know the actress's name. It was made to look and act human. And he was there for so long serving his time, he fell in love with the robot, to the point that when his time was served, and of course the astronauts coming to get him to bring him back to Earth, he wouldn't leave the robot, or, well, female robot, her, behind. He was in love. And they're looking at him and saying, it's not real, it's a robot. And he says, no, you don't understand. She loves me. And he just wouldn't go. So finally, one of the other actors playing an astronaut, it was Ted Knight, the late Ted Knight, takes out a gun, shoots the robot, wires and springs everywhere to bring him back into the reality that this was not a person. But it was made to look so real. So I could see, because I've read these types of stories, people fall in love with their love dolls. That's another story, where people could fall in love with an artificial intelligence because you know, you're alone with it long enough, whatever the conditions may be. Yeah, I'll see it. I would not be surprised if I read that one day. But the work they're doing here, this is pretty detailed. Not perfect, not perfect. No, no. Definitely looks like a human. It's definitely human shape, definitely human. Well, they're working out some of the mechanics, I see, but this is definitely a work in progress, but a pretty good, reasonable facsimile if it serves a purpose. Another way to take humans out of their jobs, by the way. Again, I always jump around with stories, so I just really posted a lot of them from my Facebook page onto the list of things I'm talking about because it was just the way I saw them, not necessarily in date order or order of importance or anything else. I keeps my mind fresh. What's going on here? Okay, it says an Upper East Side Facebook group for moms has strict entry requirements. This comes out from just a couple of days ago. This is a moderator of the popular Upper East Side Moms group on Facebook is so fixated on making sure that only those with children or expecters join the forum that she's demanding documentation from the prospective members, including sonograms from pregnant women. Someone asked if she was joking. That's a former group member asked. And it's Tiffy, and her name is Tiffy Ahmad, one of the 3 moderators of UES Mama's page. All right, just note. It's the only way we can know if they are pregnant. She wants proof. You need to show her your sonogram. I don't see why. I mean, what if it's, well, it could be somebody who lost a baby along the way that just may want to, talk to moms, or maybe professional caregivers, nannies who need mom's advice or something. So what does that mean? That after you have the baby, you're either into another category, or what does this mean? If your kid turns to what age before you're not allowed to be in this group? People are odd. People on social media, it's not that they enjoy their work. They like their jobs. This one here is a moderator in a group, and she likes her jobs. She likes her job. Well, anyway, the club has 40,000 members. They discuss what? They discuss strollers in schools. They discuss mom stuff. Okay, great. But really odd. Oh well, everybody's got something, right? Okay, show her your papers. This is a game. Well, I don't like people simply cashing in. This came out on the 25th, and I'm not so sure about this one. I don't like when people try to cash in on, even the first line, cash in on tragedy. I don't like people when people muck around in your misery. An Iranian game developer is now facing the music online over a tasteless video game, that's what it says, in which the objective is to save the life of George Floyd. So we all know who George Floyd is. Okay. It says the game is dubbed Save the Freedom. The mobile game is based on the killing of George Floyd, who was black, by a white police officer in Minnesota of May of 2020. An incident that prompted protests around the world. It was, of course, I'm reading this here. It was developed over the past year by Iran's Basij. Iran's Basij paramilitary force, branch of the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps, at the behest of the IRGC General Mohammed Reza Nadi. That's according to the Sun. They're cashing in on a game of a guy who got killed. And let's see if we can stir some shit up around the world. Let's just try this one for a second. We already know what we already know the effect that some games have on some kids. Let's see what we can do with this one over here. It says the game works its way up through 30 levels of ascending difficulty, facing enemies who are presumably trying to kill George Floyd. And that's according to Seamus I got to pronounce this right. Malik Safzal, excuse me. It's just a game that's getting bad, let's say bad comments on social media using backlash. It's not a joke. And it's really, it's ghoulish. It really is. It's a horrible thing. It's nothing good can come from it except somebody will make a few bucks. That's all it's ever going to be. Someone will make a few bucks. Okay, let's get into some of the more stupid crap around the world for a second. Let's shift gears. Got this from 26th. I don't know what some people think they're doing. Here you got a woman who fires a gun at her vagina in a camera show. Yeah, the camera show crotch shot game gone horribly wrong. It says this probably wasn't the kind of money shot she was banking on. Okay, fine. Georgia webcam model Lauren Hunter Damon, 27. Redefined crotch after discharging a firearm into a vagina for alleged sex stunt gone wrong. She shot herself accidentally, according to a paramedic. All right, she shot herself accidentally. It says later interviews with witnesses revealed that the sex pistol turned gunshot victim was apparently alone in her bedroom when a weapon, 9mm handgun, went off. Well, I'm not sure what exactly the extent of the injuries are. Hopefully she's all right. I'm assuming she's all right. I haven't read anything saying otherwise. But can people get really any dumber? Don't use a gun if you don't know what you're doing. Don't use it. You don't even have to have lessons. Don't point the gun at anything but the floor. Let's try it that way. The floor. All right, there you go. Point it at sand. Let's try it that way. pointed at something other than you or anyone else for that matter. Boy. Yeah, we're getting to the halfway point. Halfway point, and they're already frustrating the hell out of me. Let's see. Oh, here's a good one. This is why I get to laugh at some of these stories. And I get lots of stories to laugh at. Let me see. A Brazil. I need a drink of water for this, only because I'm getting dry throat here. Thank you. Excuse me. A Brazilian model who married herself is now getting a divorce just 90 days on from her nuptials after she met someone who is more special. You don't hear that too much. It says Brazilian model and social media influencer Chris Galliera is ending her marriage to herself, an act known as sologamy. She's 33. Says, I reached a point where I'm matured. I realized that I am strong, and a determined woman. I was always afraid of being alone, but I realized that I needed to learn to feel good about myself. When that happened, I decided to celebrate it. So if you marry yourself, see, I was thinking she married herself, is now divorcing herself. Maybe she found someone better looking. You know, I'm looking at the picture. Okay, good luck. But there you go. She married and divorced herself. I'm not sure what the financials are about it, what property they're settling on. Oh, man. I don't know where people get these ideas in their head from. I know I wouldn't want to marry myself. You know that? I'm tough. Oh, well, there's another one with a good story to talk about. And if Chris can find someone better than herself to marry, which I would imagine that it wouldn't be that hard, good luck. What else is going on here? Excuse me. Let's get some other ridiculousness going. Okay, here we go. This is good. A woman with spina bifida sues her mom's doctors for millions and says she should never have been born. Okay. An English woman with spina bifida is suing her mother's former doctor for millions of dollars in health care costs and damages, claiming that she should never have been born. Evie Tumbas, 20 years old, equestrian, she's an equestrian show jumper. She's in her field, beautiful horse, from Lincolnshire, is suing her mother's general practitioner, Dr. Philip Mitchell, for wrongful conception after he allegedly failed to advise her mother on taking folic acid supplements before getting pregnant, that she claims resulted in birth defect. That's according to the Telegraph. I love the New York Post. It picks up everybody's feeds. Let's see. She was diagnosed with, I got to pronounce this. I'll pronounce it later. She was diagnosed. It's with a neural tube defect to the spine. She has spinal defect. We'll see. Lipomyeloming. I can't pronounce it. You have to study that one. She claims that her mother should never have had her if the doctor had informed that she needed to take folic acid supplements and to minimize the chance of defects affecting the baby. I don't know what kind of case she's going to get out of this. Of course, I'm sorry she has physical problems. Of course. I don't know that she has a case. Wrongful conception. I mean, who is she suing? The doctor or her mother? But she's suing. What she was saying, I was advised if I had a good diet previously, I would not have to take folic acid. Okay, that's according to the mother. Well, the final judgment is expected at a later date. Yeah, she also suffers from bladder issues, bowel issues. She's on oxygen. She has a problem. I understand that. I don't know that she has it. I don't know if that case is going to go forward, but okay. Yeah, we'll see what happens. What else is going on here? Here's one. Here you go. Here's another genius. Out of Italy, an Italian gynecologist has allegedly offered to have sex with women to cure virus. An Italian doctor known by the nickname Dr. Magic Flute was uncovered as a fraud for allegedly offering to have sex with a female patient to cure her of a cancer-causing virus. Dr. Giovanni Miniello, 60 years old, in the southern city of Bari, told a 33-year-old woman she appeared to have the human papillo. Okay, papillo. I can't talk today. Papillom. Oh man, I'm sorry. Papillomavirus. I'm trying. One of those days. I'm sorry. Sexually transmitted bug that can cause cancer. And although the pap smear was negative, the doctor said she needs help. Says he saved many women from cancer. And all those I've had contact with were negative afterwards. Amazing. But the woman identified as Anna Maria decided to contact the Italian newspaper La Repubblica, alleging that Miniello had touched her breasts inappropriately, so on and so on and so on. Anyway, even when she said no, asked if he could wear a condom, no, then you won't get the benefits. So this guy's got troubles. So pretty much the cure for cancer that you don't have is Dr. Magic Flute. Oh my. Oh my, oh my, oh my. This is what goes on in the world when you leave people alone. You don't hear about this in any other species of life except us. Who thinks of this shit? Okay, this one here was pretty odd. This I got from USA Today on November 22nd. And the headline is crabs, octopus, and lobsters feel pain. They will be recognized as sentient beings. Sentient beings. I don't know if I talked about this last week, but whatever. I probably didn't. Okay, so it says, I told you, we recognize sentient beings in the UK after new research suggested they have a central nervous system and can feel pain. I don't even have to read the end of this story because it's stupid. If this is the way people are feeling, if this is the way people are feeling, that lobsters, octopus, and crabs feel pain, then what do cows, lamb, horses, in other parts of the world, dogs? How about the fish that suffocate? Nothing dies worse than the fish. And anything else you may like to eat. Do they feel pain? How do you think the steak gets to your store in the plastic? How do people think that when you go to the butcher shop and the place is fully stocked? Where do you think it's coming from? Something had to feel pain. You think a pig doesn't feel pain, a chicken? How do you think it happens? So I don't know how they came up with bottom feeder sea life or the octopus, but okay, they've chosen that. And they're looking for strong protections in the world of pets. Like now they're looking to, I think they're going to have to expand their thoughts. So yeah, I'm not quite sure where they got this idea from of mentioning this particular form of life first, as opposed to when people think of slaughterhouses. I'm just sort of curious. Anyway, that's one story. So yes, in England, they are being recognized as sentient beings. Okay. Wait, here we go. My computer's moving slow today. This is a guy I would only expect to see in Coney Island. The headline says French black alien reportedly gets fingers sliced off to create a claw. And this is a 33-year-old Frenchman who has transformed his body into a bit to become a black alien, has now reportedly gotten 2 fingers chopped off on his left hand to form a freakish claw. Anthony Lafredo's apparent surgery is the latest in the series of procedures the wannabe extraterrestrial has undergone, including getting his nose and upper lip cut off, his tongue split, and his entire body, including eyeballs, covered in tattoos. I'm looking at this picture. This guy needs help, and so do the doctors that take on the case to do this to him. I can't believe any doctor. This looks like. I mean, I'm looking at. Well, of course, I'm seeing as the after. I don't know what his before looked like. I'm looking at the after. This looks like an otherwise strong human being. Seems to be in pretty good shape. Doesn't look like he has any fat on him. Looks like he's well built, and he is covered in tattoos. So I'm not quite sure what he's doing. Now I'm looking at a picture of his left hand. So his pinky and ring finger have been amputated. He has 3 long green nails on his hand. And this is what this guy has done to himself. I don't know why. And there's a team of surgeons that were willing to do this crap. I cannot believe it. I don't know what doctors are thinking of when they say yes to anybody. I really don't. Okay. Oh my. Listen. What can I say? Well, as I was mentioning artificial intelligence before, this headline says world's first living robots can now reproduce. That's pretty cool. U.S. scientists who created the first living robots said life forms known as xenobots can now reproduce in a way not seen in plants and animals. Formed in the stem cells of African-clawed frog, Xenopus laevis, from which it takes its name, xenobots are less than a millimeter. Wait, my computer's jumping around. Sorry about that. My computer's just jumping around because of all the advertisements. It's less than a millimeter or 0.04 inches wide. The tiny blobs at first unveiled in 2020 after experiments showed that they could move, work together in groups, and self-heal. Well, they function, I guess, like ants, and they can self-heal and self-produce. Okay. Now the scientists developed them at the University of Vermont, Tufts University, and Harvard University Weiss Institute for Biology Inspired Engineering said they have discovered the entirely new form of biological reproduction different from any animal or plant known to science. They say frogs have a way of reproducing that they normally use, but when you liberate the cells from the rest of the embryo, you give them a chance to figure out how to be in a new environment. All right. Anyway, so we have robots that can reproduce. Somehow it's not going to stop there. It's what is a robot or organism? Well, let's see now. That's interesting. Stem cells are unspecialized cells that have the ability to develop into different cell types. To make xenobots, the researchers scraped living stem cells from frog embryos and left them to incubate. There is no manipulation of genes involved. Okay. Well, they have a new process, a new thing going on. Hopefully it serves a purpose. Hopefully the robots do not grow up and do something worse, but okay, we'll see what happens. This is one story that I found not original, but I'm a big boxing fan. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a huge boxing fan. This one came out of Nevada, UNLV, University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Student dies after collapsing at a fraternity fight night event. And it says University of Las Vegas student died of brain injuries after he fought at a fraternity sponsored Fight Club style event. Junior Nathan Valencia, 20, clapped shortly after he duked it out in a boxing match at the Kappa Sigma Fight Night on November 19th. He died 4 days later. That's according to KLAS. I'm reading, they said they didn't have much by way of medical support. No doctors, nothing. Probably had to call an ambulance, which probably took a while to get there. Fight clubs. I am not for them. I was never for them. I mean, it's not like I never sparred before in life. I took martial arts. I have sparred, but it was in a very controlled environment. And we never looked to hurt each other. I don't know what training, I don't know what background this kid had in boxing, but I'm looking at this photo. He's in a ring, headgear, gloves, and they are boxing. And I don't know what his health was going into the fight. That's always important. You don't know what a fighter's health is, which is why in professional and even amateur ranks, they take all sorts of exams, neurological exams, blood tests, cardiograms. They go through a whole workup to make sure they are able to walk into the ring. And even then, on rare occasion, something can go wrong. In this case, a 20-year-old whose family did not want him to do it when he told him about it, said it's for a charity event. Of course, he's 20. They can't stop him. He went in. I'm not sure what punch he took. I'm not sure. I don't think anyone there knows what happened to him. It would actually take somebody who knows what they're doing and knows what they're looking at to understand where the which punishment it was. I'm sure it wasn't something that hit him in the arms. Let's put it that way. I'm sure it's not. I'm pretty sure because if he took a jab to the nose, more than likely not. But get someone hit in the temple, behind the ear, get him right on the chin. If there's something wrong with him, hit him in the neck. You never know. So if anyone out there listening likes to box, knows any kids, just remember, we don't play boxing. You don't play it. You don't, I'm going to go into the ring. No, no. There's no support here. There's no doctors here. There's nothing here. No. I mean, I used to do the corner work. I used to do for the fighters at my martial arts school when they had inter-school fights, and there was a full medical staff. And a friend of mine got really hurt, and there was a medical team there. When he wasn't feeling well afterwards, I walked him right into the first aid station when he was a nurse. They were there. Somebody was checking, especially in his neck. This should never be allowed to happen. It should never happen. I don't know who's in charge of this. I don't know what the deal is with all this. It's stupid. It's dangerous. And if you don't know what you're doing, do not put the gloves on. At least do not fight with other people. Go hit a bag. You want to impress somebody, go to a heavy bag. Make sure your wrist is nice and tight. Wrap it up and impress your friends with a good sound. Don't get crazy in the ring. It's dangerous, as this kid can tell you. Okay. Let's round all this off with some nonsense. Okay, here's one I don't like this. From Long Island, cops are investigating a second French bulldog dog napping. Why would anybody want to rob French? This is a cute little puppy too. French bulldog was stolen over the weekend, Suffolk County. Zushi, Z-U-S-H-I, a 3-month bulldog, French bulldog male puppy was dog napped from a house in Bayshore. I'm not sure if it was Saturday or Sunday. I mean, people broke into the house, took clothing, cash, and they grabbed the puppy. Leave the puppy behind. If you want a dog, go adopt. There's plenty to be had. I feel bad. Well, she was found. They found the dog a couple of days later. You know, they gave her medical attention. You know, all that stuff. And of course, they released the dog 50 miles away. They just let the puppy go. Someone found it. I think that's horrible. Then again, my friend's dog, Bruno, about 15 months ago was stolen from in front of the business that his owner owns. He was found that night. Matter of fact, if you Google French Bulldog Bruno, you'll see it. Bruno, for a week, was the most popular dog in the world, with over 4 million internet hits. Everybody knew Bruno. Matter of fact, so did the guys who stole him, and he was returned that night. Don't go taking people's dogs. That's a horrible shit you can do. All right, my last story of the night here. I like this one in England. British pub goers trapped in a bar with an Oasis cover band after a blizzard. British fans of an Oasis tribute band spent the weekend confined to a remote Yorkshire pub with a group when the mountain of snow trapped them all in a bar. Fans of Oasis had gathered at Tan Hill Inn on Friday to hear the renditions of their favorite rock songs when the piles of snow up to 3 feet high blocked the pub's exits. Well, it's a nice building. Looks like an old house, but it's a nice building. Lots of snow. I'll give you that. I don't know how they pulled up to the bar in the first place with no snow. And then they weren't able to get out and no one dug out a path to make sure that the customers could leave. But that's what happened. And I'm looking at this guy. He's got a nice meal in front of him. He's got a huge vegetables, potatoes, a big rack of something. What's he eating over here? Either way, if I got to get stranded somewhere, it'll be in this pub where they have big, huge things and a band. Lots of food and a band, lots of drink. So if you got to be stranded somewhere, well, I guess your favorite bar might be it. Don't forget, call your family and say, I'm trying to get home. Daddy's trying to get home. I promise you. Meantime, order another. Oh, man, I love this stuff. Some of these stories are just really incredibly ridiculous. But if I got rid of ridiculous, what would I be doing out here? Excuse me. The tree in Rockefeller Center is going up. It isn't up already. It should be going up. I mean, just Christmas season, shopping. I know it's shopping season because it's getting cold out. And I know that whenever I go shopping, the wind is blowing at me. So my hands holding the bags get nice and frostbitten. That's why I order a lot of stuff online this year. But really, support your local shops if you can. Excuse me. Support your local shops. And remember, when you go shopping, yes, it's the thought that counts. But even the thought takes some thought. Put a little thought into it. And you'll probably save money overall. Because if you think about what people I mean, I don't know, everyone has a different idea of what they want to spend per person as a top amount. But if you think about the people what makes them happy, you could probably spend a lot less and make them a lot happier. Because get people what they like. I mean, let's face it, it's especially if you're adults, you don't need toys anymore. Kids need a lot of little things rip open boxes, a lot of small presents. Yeah, like that, the fun of opening up stuff. I really believe I'm going to do what I always say with my cousin, even though she's not a little kid. Everything is about opening presents. So I think she just wants to tear open wrapping paper. I'm going to buy her a roll of wrapping paper and just let her keep on tearing. She'll have a lot of fun. But yeah, keep in mind what people like, and let them have some fun receiving it. Because otherwise they have to start returning it. It makes them feel bad. It makes you feel bad. And we don't want any of that. So put a little effort into what you're thinking of. You'll save money. I promise you'll save money in the long run. Because, like I say, people like wine, very simple thing, wine. It does not require a lot of money to go buy a bottle of wine. And you could probably get them 3-4 bottles for a lot less than you would normally spend on gifts anyway. So again, the thought, people smoke cigars, a lot of people, whatever it is you think they like, just get them what they like. And I think that's a good way to go. My brother loves coffee. My brother, he lives in Starbucks. I'm pretty sure for their double the amount of caffeine thing. Keep giving my brother Starbucks cards. He'll be the happiest guy in the world. Me, someone send me a case of Diet Snapple Peach. I'll be a happy guy. I don't want much. Although years ago, I keep telling this story to people. My cousin, I have a cousin that always has a wish list. I mean, throughout her travels, throughout the years, she has a wish list. And every year, one year she was asking me, what's on my list? I don't really keep a wish list. I always joke around. Sweat socks. Every guy needs sweat socks. She says, no, really, what should I get you? Anyway, I forgot how many years ago this is. I said, listen, I'm a boxing fan, as I just mentioned. Get me a subscription to Ring magazine. That was good years ago. She says, that's all you want? I said, well, this is what it's going to cost, which is less than what you're normally going to spend. And I will be incredibly happy. She said, that's all you want? I said, don't you understand? It's a year-long subscription. I'm going to have it for 1 year. Every month, I'm going to get a magazine. I'll be the happiest guy in the world. And she got it for me, and I was very happy. Well, now the magazine isn't the same anymore. They slowed down every time they release an issue. It's like all old news. I don't need it anymore. But it's when you think about what people like, what makes them tick, what they like, everyone laughs because I like these things. Everyone laughs. I like these things. Well, I'm sort of nutty that way. My mom got me this one last time for my birthday. It's a very good light, bright as hell, has a good jagged front edge, so if anyone gives me a hard time, and that's just what I could do. But you get people what you know what they know. If they need stuff for their business, for their work, that's a good gift. Things that make them tick, that make them happy. Little thought, and the thought always good. And everything is going fine here, and I'm going to be meeting my family for dinner in a little while. I'm not quite sure what we're having, but I was invited, so I'm just going to eat it, whatever it may be. And that's the story. I'll be back next week. So as we're out of November, heading to December, we'll see you in a week. Everybody have a great night. Be careful where you're going. Dress nice and warm. And that's the story. Have a good night, guys. See you next time.